Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantas-Fic.
Woohoo! It's the show you all know and love where we read fanfiction and talk about it.
Yeah. And after our first episode, which was highly successful in at least two ways, we're back for a second one.
Yeah, did you see that gorgeous video editing? Wow. Well
Ooh
done,
la
Scott.
la.
Woohoo. Amazing.
Video
Anyway,
editing on a podcast, it's the future.
people say it's an audio format, but they don't understand. It goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
But
The real future is smell-o-vision, as it always has been.
when are you gonna add smells to the next episode? We're gonna make this one smell like a regular old bathroom because we're going to Lord of the Rings.
I would have gone with maybe the outdoors or something,
What's the
but
difference?
you're right. Really, the bathroom trips of Lord of the Rings are some of the most memorable.
It's the unwritten bathroom scenes are really what I get out of those books that I didn't read, yeah.
Yep.
Because they don't, whatever, it's old times. Yeah, this week, we're looking at a classic in the Lord of the Rings franchise, The Very Secret Diaries by legend Cassie Clare.
Yeah, and we've chosen several of these diaries. These are diaries written from the perspective of the characters. They are comedic in nature, so they are not super serious or lore-friendly for some people, but they're kind of funny.
Yeah, so I found the backstory for this idea from this author for this, for these like diaries of different characters. Do you want me to read it now or after?
You can do it, because I don't know what it is.
All right, so the original post for this series, the author had a live journal, and the first post was on December 30th, 2001, and they said, "So I've been traveling through the wilderness that is Lord of the Rings fanfiction. No, I don't mean Hobbit smut, which is all of much of a muchness. I was looking for Legolas Aragorn slash because Rysen said she wanted to read some, but there's hardly any. It's all Legolas Gimli, which admittedly makes far more sense if you read the books, but it's kind of yucky." Which immediately is kind of a weird thing here, huh? If you're gonna be picky about what fanfiction to like. It's right there also, the Legolas Gimli stuff.
Imagine being so upset by shipping.
Actually, yeah, that's fair.
It's basically canon shipping, right? Because in the end,
essentially
they go together to the Grey Lands.
Yeah, they literally die in each other's arms. It's great. Well, the Grey Lands.
It's more of a metaphor, you know? You can't just spell it out.
I think you can spell it out. It's more than a metaphor. You can't
it's
just get
like
on a
heaven or
boat
something.
you can't get on a boat to a place no one has ever seen and say that you're not dead.
True.
You know? Anyway, so they only found one Legolas Aragorn story featuring Legolas sneaking into Aragorn's room after the Council of Elrond and stealing his diary. So this was inspired by another fanfiction that this author had read. And apparently Aragorn had a diary and time to write in it, and all he writes about is how cute he thinks elf boys are. Who knew? So that's the inspiration for this story, was this person read a really juicy elf boy love Aragorn Legolas slash, and decided to make history with it.
You know, I appreciate the drive, you know?
Honestly.
When some sort of work isn't out there that you want to see in the world, be that change, you know?
You gotta make it happen. You gotta make Aragorn get that juicy elf ass. Because he wants it, you know he does.
Yep. And if there's not enough evidence, here it is.
Here it is, yeah. So there's actually a bunch of different chapters of diaries from different characters that are all kind of short. So we decided that each of us are gonna read two of them. It's only... it's a diary entry format, so it's just the one character reading. So we'll just take turns one at a time. I'm going to start off with the second entry in the Very Secret Diaries by Legolas, son of Weenus, it says. Which is nowhere near true, but here we go. This one is dedicated to Emily for her fearless defense of Elijah. I assume Elijah Wood? Or that's the guy that played Frodo in the movies.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. Day 1. Went to Council of Elrond. Was prettiest person there. Agreed to follow some tiny little man to Mordor to throw a ring into volcano. Very important mission. Gold ring so tacky. Day 4. Boromir so irritating. Why must he wear big shield like dinner plate all the time? Climbed up Caradhras, but wimpy humans who cannot walk on snow insisted we climb back down. Am definitely prettiest member of the Fellowship. Go me! Day 6. Far too dark in Mines of Moria to brush hair properly. Am very afraid I am developing a tangle. Orcs so silly. Still the prettiest. Day 10. Gandalf fell into his shadow. In other news, I think I am developing a spot on my nose. Very serious situation, as elven spots likely to last for 500 years or more. Still prettiest, despite blasted spot. Day 11. In Lothlorien, suspect Galadriel may be prettier than me. Also, am quite sure she copied my hairstyle. I was wearing that same look at least 1,000 years ago. Silly bint. She was most annoyed that I used her mirror and fountain to take a nice bubble bath. I chose to ignore her claim that my hair clogged her drain. Not one strand of my hair has fallen out in 800 years. Why would it start now? Still prettiest by far. Day 30. All this padding about in boats is hell on my complexion. Aragorn obviously starting to find Frodo strangely attractive. Sam will kill him if he tries anything. Still the prettiest. Day 33. Boromir tempted by Ring. So tedious. Cannot be tempted myself, as already have everything I want, i.e. perfect hair and a butt like granite. Have been getting very strange letters from someone calling herself Stacy, who wants to do obscene things to my elfhood. Fortunately, have super duper elf vision, so can run away if I see her coming. Day 35. Boromir dead. Very messy death, most unnecessary. Did get kissed by Aragorn as he expired. Does a guy have to get shot full of arrows around here to get any action? Boromir definitely not prettier than me. Cannot understand it. Am feeling a pout coming on. Frodo off to Mordor with Sam. Tiny little men caring about each other. Rather cute, really. Am quite sure Gimli fancies me. So unfair. He is waist height, so can see advantages there. But chunky braids and big helmet most off-putting. Foresee dark times ahead. Very dark times. Wow. Lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah. So let's get into our second one, which is the very secret diaries of Frodo Baggins. And Cassandra has the note of, how could I do this to poor, lovable Frodo? That said. Day 1. Feeling much better in House of Elrond after a nice long nap. Also, Sam gave me a fabulous back rub and bubble bath. Platonic. Brotherly love, so wonderful. Wasn't quite entirely sure why he needed to suck on my toes, but am assured it has something to do with elf medicine. Day 3. Have agreed to carry the ring to Mordor. In hindsight, probably bad move. Day 4. Aragorn and Boromir had a big fight over who got to carry me up Mount Gradorus. Aragorn shoved Boromir into snow. Boromir bit Aragorn on the ear. Ring must be affecting them more seriously than I thought. Day 6. Woke up to find Aragorn playing with buttons on my shirt. He must be after the ring. Damn, it's Siren Call. Ah well, Sam will kill him if he tries anything. Day 10. Today Legolas began stroking my inner thigh with his bow. Was stunned. Had no idea Legolas wanted the ring too. It must be an object of immense power. Day 11. Gandalf showed me a very strange trick he can do. Apparently the pointy wizard hat is not all for show. Wonder if Ring is affecting him, or perhaps he is just V peculiar. Day 24. Finally feel rested. It's too dark in the mines of Moria for Aragorn to find me and pinch me as he has been doing lately. Gandalf fell into shadow. Was sad to see Pointy Hat go. Day 27. Rotharine is so pretty. Gladriel pretty too. Offered her one ring, but she kept saying, no, there's something else I'd rather have from you, Frodo Baggins, and trying to slide her foot inside my breeches, so gave her an extra pair of breeches since she seemed so fond of them. Maybe have some kind of breech shortage in Lothlorien. Day 30. Rode all the way in boats, tired. Merry and Pippin offered to give me a good massage. Nice to have such very concerned friends. Glad Ring is not affecting them, although did need back rubbed quite so much. Not other parts. Pippin does remember we're cousins, right? Right? Day 33. Boromir tried to take the ring. Am not entirely certain, but am fairly sure he also tried to have a little cuddle. Was most unnerving. Boromir quite huge. Day 36. Everyone keeps hitting on me. Cannot cope. Off to Mordor. Sam coming too. Good thing, as this will enable me to have more of those platonic, brotherly foot massages he's so good at. Am sad to leave the rest of the company, though, as I found myself quite fancying the idea of shagging Gimmy's chunky braids and huge helmet quite on turn on. Oh well, he would never have liked me anyway.
Incredible. Let's follow that bad boy up with Saruman the White. The note from Cassandra Clare here is dedicated to whoever bought me a paid LJ account, live journal, where they were originally posted. I thank you, O silent benefactor. That was awfully nice. Day 1. Am bored. No cable in Isengard. Nothing to do but write rude anonymous letters to Radagast the Brown and Manfred the slightly ecru. Perhaps we'll have a look at the Palantir. Day 2. Have met very nice guy via Palantir. He seems to really like me for me, and not just because I am most powerful wizard in the Middle-earth. Wonder what he look like. Day 3. Am becoming disenchanted with Palantir guy. Refuses to send me photo except one of very large eyeball. Says he is shy, but I rather suspect he is fat, or perhaps hairy. Have heard some very bad stories about Palantir relationships. Should probably cool it for a while. Day 7. Well, wouldn't you know, Palantir guy turned out to be Dark Lord of Mordor. Just my luck. Could have been worse, I guess. Sauron is not fat or hairy, just the embodied force of evil. Must go now. Have to raise massive demon army to scourge the earth. Also have manicure appointment. It's no easy task keeping nails pointy. Day 9. Typical. Gandalf just came waltzing by and he knows I hate drop-ins. Wanted to yap on and on about the ring he gave his new boyfriend. Terrible, pervy hobbit fancier old Gandalf is. Disgrace to the order. Just wants to show off and remind me that he's got a hobbit, and I'm just dating an eyeball. Well, Saruman the White does not stand for this treatment. Showed him my Wizard Wrestling Federation moves. I've delivered smackdown. Go me. Day 13. Am tired of climbing up and down 8 million stairs just to taunt Gandalf. Should have imprisoned him in easy access dungeon where it could more easily taunt effectively and not have to wait until after breakfast. Day 14. Alright, who's been spitting gum down on the orcs? Honestly. Day 15. Was right in the middle of really good taunt and Gandalf escaped. Ah well, it will save me daily stair climb. Day 16. Had been watching in Palantir. Gandalf faffed off on extending camping trip with 4 hobbits, a very buff elf, and a rather fanciable human. Oh, bother, that Aragorn son of Arathorn. Once threw him out of Isengard for whining about not being king yet. Then there's a shady-looking character and some kind of hairy newt. Or maybe it's a dwarf. What a bunch of yavos. Day 20. Have crossed orcs with goblin men in caverns below Isengard. Very tedious experience as orcs and goblin men most reluctant to breed, even with dinner and flowers. Next time we'll try something easier, such as breeding goblins and cheerleaders to create super perky army that can travel by day and will not complain about pink uniforms. Day 22. Did not know when decided to make army for Sauron that would be so darn messy. Curse my decision to be Saruman the White. Should have decided to be Saruman the Muddy Brown, or Saruman the Faintly Greenish. White just shows all the slime. Day 24. If keep watching in Palantir, perhaps we'll see Gandalf do pointy hat trick. Day 25. Gandalf did pointy hat trick. Ringbearer very impressed. Aragorn obviously fancies trousers of the Ringbearer. Sam will kill him if he tries anything. Day 25. Harry Newt is most definitely dwarf. Caught him playing hide the helmet with one of the hobbits. Other human seems to be Boromir of Gondor. Am I only one who has long wanted to ride to Minas Tirith and tell Steward that Gondor sounds just like gonad, and they should find a less silly name? Perhaps it is just me. Day 28. Uruk-hai is nearly ready to go. Watched Fellowship a bit today. Boromir convinced Smallest Hobbit to blow the horn of Gondor. Have not laughed so hard since set Balrog up with Gandalf during Second Age, and Gandalf stuck Balrog with Restaurant Bill. Palantir great. Better than Cable. Wow. There's a lot going on there that I can't wait to unpack.
Yep. Alright. And finally, The Very Secret Diaries of Ring Wraith, number 5. And this one is dedicated to Jeff.
Let's go, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being as his diaries were literally conceived as a way to get him to stop reading my live journal, I'd say it's all down to him, really. Go, Jeff. Smiley face. I could have done without you.
What?
Day 1. Just opened Christmas prezi from Sauron. Pretty, 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 pretty ring. Day 1,967. Got box of chocolates as Christmas bonus from Dark Lord. Again. As per usual, Sauron ate all the toffees and left the strawberry creams. How I detest this life of vile servitude. Still disembodied. Day 1,001,056. Very bored and Barad-dûr. Nothing to do but play Scrabble with orcs. Is very annoying as orcs only know black speech of Mordor. You try spelling Agsnagsgyamplatul for a triple word score. Yeah, I didn't think so. Day 1,001,102. Suspect Sauron gearing up for something. Walked in on him applying ceremonial sparkly mascara. Suspect he'll be very happy when he has body back and can really dress up again. Day 1,001,105. Yes, Sauron definitely gearing up for something. Have been getting orders to sally forth and hunt down hobbits and close personal hobbit friends who have somehow gotten hold of Ruling Ring. Witch King of Angmar's suggestion to place pictures of Ruling Ring on milk cartons and wait for calls to come in was ignored. Day 1,001,106. Have been given brand spanking new horse. Not for spanking, of course. Go me! On the minus side, still disembodied. Day 1,001,107. Very close to nabbing Ringbearer tonight, but head Nazgul suffered attack of giggles while observing excessive cuddliness of Ringbearer and his 3 companions. Suspect Gandalf chose Ringbearer on account of big blue eyes and pouty lower lip, rather than possession of heroic type fortitude. Will catch up with pretty boy Hobbit and harem of pint-sized boyfriends in Bree. Very much looking forward to post-slaughter booze up. Day 1,001,109. Drat that Aragorn. Drat Isildur and all his heirs. Generations of pervy Hobbit fanciers, of no use to anyone. Son of Arathorn has Hobbit-napped the Ringbearer. To combat disappointment at failure to achieve goals set by Sauron, spent all night boozing it up in Bree. Breelanders very informative. Drinks 10 Mai Tais, then impaled innkeeper on a swizzle stick. Killed 17 men. Go us! Day 1,001,115. Have been following Isildur's heir and pack of hobbits for 6 days. Aragorn obviously into Ringbearer. Sam will kill him if he tries anything. Day 1,001,116. Got slightly over frisky with Ringbearer at Weathertop. Aragorn went all wonky and possessive and set me on fire. And indeed, Sam did try to kill me, although did not notice had been hit in knees with frying pan until later on. Day 1,001,119. Met she-elf girlfriend of Isildur's heir today. Was so busy laughing at concept of Aragorn the Hobbit fancier having a girlfriend that inconveniently got washed away in stream. Horse dead, armor all rusted, must return to Mordor for oiling. No, not that kind of oiling. Rather pervy wraith fancier, aren't you? What?
Oh my god. Wait a second. There's a lot to talk about here, but that last note there, this Ring Wraith is knowing that people are reading this diary?
That seems about in character for them, you know?
Yeah, okay.
They're kind of ghosty things. They should have spectacular fourth wall breaking powers.
It's the Phantom of the Opera. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real Phantom Menace.
I gotta say, I kind of love these. And I didn't as much at first, but then I skimmed over some of the ones we didn't read as well, and in the ones that we did read, like, they make repeating jokes work. Like,
yeah, I really like the, what's it called, the...
Sam will kill him if he tries anything.
Kill, yeah.
It's great.
Sam did try to kill me. I appreciate that the aggressive horniness of these, that is kind of funny, you know? Yeah. It's not just these some story about how they had sex. It's that they all want to have sex, but they're all kind of stupid.
Right? You can tell that this person like read a bunch of fan fiction before writing anything, which was like their inspiration for the first story was they wanted to make something they hadn't seen. So it's like they're having fun with it, and they're writing sexy stuff like you would in a fan fiction, but kind of like as a joke of the format a little bit.
Yeah, that everyone's into everyone, because of course they would be. It's a fan fiction.
Yeah, of course. I love that, like, Frodo's just such a big himbo. That he's just he's just like such an anime protagonist that everyone's going for him and he doesn't realize. It's great. And the Gimli crush at the end of it, what a twist, considering every other character says that Gimli's gross. What a twist.
Yeah, and he still doesn't realize, because he truly is an anime protagonist.
I love that all of these characters are, like, so positive. Like, everything they're writing is like, go me, I'm the best. Like, these journals just, like, are so reflective of their own, like, self-worth, and they're also confident in themselves. I just love seeing these happy and healthy characters.
Yeah, all their problems, right, are that, like, they feel like they're not pretty sometimes, or that I read a bit of the Sauron one, and he's like, oh, I insulted what's his face, Elrond, and that's why the whole ring war started. And then he's like, I'm very upset that I insulted Elrond. It was just not worth it.
Like, there's I think that there's two main things going on here, and one of them is it's these fantasy characters like talking in a way that's supposed to be like relatable and like kind of youth drama stuff, and the other is in the middle of that. Sometimes the author just like points out things that they think are weird about the Lord of the Rings series as a joke. And I think it's really interesting seeing both of those things, just like half of the time it being, oh, I'm feeling pretty today. Legolas is coming on to me, and other times being like, what are some examples? There was the...
Well, you could take the example in like the Ring Wraith one of got distracted and washed away by the river, because it's kind of silly how they just get washed away by the river.
Right. And
even though it's magic, it's kind of like, ooh, there they just go.
Right, and then the Saruman on the right, like, he has to walk up to the top of that huge tower every time he wants to taunt Gandalf.
Yep.
Yeah, classic stuff. There's I don't know, just like the recurring jokes really do it for me. Just like it really built on me, just because the more you read, the more you see the same lines. And like it vaguely follows, like these diaries vaguely follow the same days too, so like Gandalf did the pointy hat trick in Frodo's, and then in Saruman he watches Gandalf do the pointy hat trick on the same day.
Yep.
It's very cohesive. It brings me into the world.
Yeah, they really put in the effort to the fanfic, unironically.
Yeah.
To have it all line up.
I feel like
it's kind of sad that it just ends, you know? They clearly were planning to do like one for each of these characters, or like each of the main characters for each book, plus like some of the mix in. Like they have one for Theoden in the second book, but they just stopped halfway through the second book.
Yeah, it is really sad. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 15 entries for Fellowship of the Ring and only 3 for the Two Towers. And it seems like it's done. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
But you know what? If the author were to continue, they couldn't use this Celtic web art anymore, because when you click on the link for like the graphics link, it's just a page is missing, which is so sad considering how great this fucking art is.
Yeah,
there's just it doesn't fit the page at all. So there's these two like bars of Celtic swirly art.
I did
stuff.
realize if you zoom in on the page,
yeah?
it fixes it. Or if you zoom out, it adds more bars.
Okay, because before that, I was just reading text that went like straight through these Celtic borders, and like the text just goes right into it, and you can't see anything.
That's pretty indicative of when this was written. You know, it's very.
It was
early
2002. People didn't know
web design for a very early 2000 fanfic about a presumably very popular in the early 2000 series, because that was, I think, when the movies were coming out.
What are your favorite ships from Lord of the Rings? I gotta say, what are the ones that really get you going?
Ooh, I am not a shipper.
It's a darn shame.
The comedy of them can be fun, but I don't know.
That's fair.
How about you?
I usually just like the characters with good chemistry and rapport. Like, I think that's fun. So I usually just ship them. So like I'm a Legolas Gimli guy just because they're funny, and they like clearly they like each other.
Yeah, that only counts as one.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
because I'm all about the dialogue. I think it's really funny that the author just like doesn't have the time to write very, so every time it's just V period.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a fanfic thing.
I think so.
Or something. Is it like that's why I said V sometimes instead of very, because I wasn't sure if maybe it's supposed to be kind of like like V serious, you know, or if it's very serious. I don't know. If there's any fanfickers in the comments, please let us know.
Yeah, tell us give us a phonetic pronunciation of V, please.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Phonetic alphabet letter for V.
Yeah, and if you say Victor,
like you,
it's not gonna fly. I love that Ring Wraith number 5 is just dedicated to Jeff. And I also love the idea that like the author says that the diaries were originally conceived as a way to get Jeff to stop reading their live journal, but this is like clearly the best thing that's been on their live journal. Why would they stop reading just as you start posting this beautiful diary content?
Oh, maybe Jeff just really hates Lord of the Rings.
That could be it. Maybe Jeff is a hardcore Legolas Gimli, and he doesn't like that the author never ships it.
These are good theories, but they're fanfic theories.
Oh no. Let's see.
Your pronunciation is hard.
It really is. I gotta say, making
Lord
up
of the
the
Rings
words
has
is
some
hard.
weird words.
Like, how does the idea of naming a mountain Karad Haras come into your head? Like, it takes a lot. I've done D&D DMing before, and like I'll have to name a town, and I call it like Meadville, and they make mead there. You know, how do you get to Karad Haras? That's great.
Be a linguistics person. That's how.
I mean, I guess that's how, huh?
But yeah, Tolkien, pretty cool.
Linguistics is the type of thing that seems kind of interesting, but then I start thinking about it and I get bored immediately.
Nah, linguistics is cool. You get to be like, ooh, it makes sense that people that use logograms would invent emoticons, and it makes sense that people that don't would use shortened text. It's cool.
It totally does, and I love when people that have looked into it and researched like linguistics talk to me about it. But like, I don't know, I just can't. Like, I look at just like a list of phonemes and how people communicate ideas, and I just fall asleep immediately. I don't know. It's just not a type of text that I'm used to reading, so it takes too long to understand.
That's fair, but it's a nerd position.
My nerd position is that I don't want to read books and learn.
Yeah, you don't want to study? What a nerd.
What a nerd. Can't believe it. Did we talk about the warning yet?
Ooh, no, we did not.
I gotta say, it's very wonderful to me that just on the front page of this this collection of fanfictions, it says, "Warning, these are works of parody and as such may include content which may result in loud laughter, drinks sprayed across keyboards/monitors, etc." Like, what an old-timey warning to use.
I feel like that used to be the start of every YouTube video that used any content would be like, warning, this is a work of parody. It can't be sued, and also if you laugh too hard, it's your fault and stuff.
Right,
that used to be every YouTube video.
Well, because back in the day, they weren't really afraid of copyright strikes and being taken down.
Yeah.
It wasn't something to be worried too much about yet.
Yeah, and fanfics, they never had to worry, so they can say this kind of stuff.
And you know what? They still don't. Keep posting it. Keep doing
and
it.
We'll keep reading it, and it'll be good times.
And it'll be great times. Thanks for listening. Scott, it's been a pleasure reading this with you and for you, the audience. We'll see you next time.